have done it, ladies and gentlemen. We are off the phone lines, the new and improved Patriot Radio News Hour. I'm Joe Jaquint, CEO of the Patriot Trading Group. Our toll-free number, 800-951-0592. The website at allamericangold.com. And, well, as our new glorious introduction, we have, for the very first time, and now think about this, we've been doing this show 23 years. And unlike these other shows, we don't like to drive. We don't go down to the radio studios at the radio station. Oh, no. We have a studio in our office. And for 23 very long, antiquated years, we have been delivering economics with attitude via the phone line. That all ended today. For the very first time, you are hearing the best quality sound coming out of this company ever. And big shout out to Richard, the radio engineer that helped us get here. Obviously, Ramon, the boys up in Colorado. And hopefully, we think we got it. I mean, one of these rare things, knock on wood. But we think this is going to work like error-free. So now that I've said that, I'm sure it's going to go out and we'll we'll have no show. But this is it. One of the things, again, that we've been promising on, the best quality sound for Phoenix, the best quality sound for Colorado, and I really, truly hope you enjoy it all and are like, man, and these guys are on it. They are delivering. Speaking of delivering, Jay Powell delivering it up for all you gold and silver holders. Wait till we do. What a show we got today. But before we do, listen, I've got to get to this very, very quickly. I know a lot of you like to listen to the whole show. I get it. I mean, I'm super entertaining in my own mind, right? I'm super entertaining. I get it. You want to hear everything. Today's not one of those days because I have an opportunity for people. If you're looking to add some gold to your portfolio, this is something I will tell you right now, it's never been done, ever. Other companies are going to be selling the same thing today, just not at the price I'm going to be selling it at. We've had a huge move in the price of gold since October. Another big move again today. I mean, gold's bumping up at 1325, right? Between 1320, 1325 an ounce this morning. Silver. You know that silver, I think it was in November, hit 1397. And we're looking at 16 and a quarter this morning on silver. Let me just tell you what I've got. This is something where I'm getting this product from. It is the most reputable wholesaler in the entire world. And they got offices in Hong Kong, Europe, England, here. Obviously, the only thing I can think of is this is stuff that they bought in October. And because of the huge price move in gold, they're offering the deal that has never, ever been offered before. In their message to me, they said this is the very lowest premium, pretty much, and here's the words they used, in well over 20 years. And when I talked to them over there, because I called them, because sometimes, people make mistakes. And I'm like, you sure? Like, I wanted to make sure it wasn't a misprint, right? Because it happens. Fat finger, flash crash? You don't know. And the reason why he said, well over 20 years, he goes, because this is as long as I've worked here. He goes, I can't say, I don't know it as a fact, but he goes, I believe this is the lowest premium ever on this item. I can tell you right now, the price I'm going to run, we've never done it before. We have, and this is the exciting part. Now, again, everybody's getting this deal. There was 150 of these coins 45 minutes ago. These are the Mint State 63 Saints. Okay, the Saints, right? The nicer looking, if you will, of the two coins. $1,425. That makes a Mint State 63 coin $20 a coin less than our ungraded Saint. Ungraded Saints in libs today are the normal ones, the normal 20s we sell today, they're $14.45. Save $20 and get Mint State 63 grade. That's why we're the best in the business. 800-951-0592. Patriot Radio News Hour. We'll be back after the break. Eight 800-951-0592. Again, the biggest gold sale ever. You're talking about, and by the way, these are all going to be PCGS or NGC slabbed, Mint State 63, $20 Saints. Every once in a while, how we do it here. I always tell you, listen, don't buy from the other guys. Mostly because let's face it, I want to be the one that's rewarded for putting this great show on for everybody. Right? It's what's kept us on the air for 23 years. When you do business with us, you support us. You support the radio station. But I've always said, hey, wait for us on graded coins. Because we'll be able to sell, and we've done it, right? We've sold Mint State 61s, Mint State 62s, even I think once or twice in the 15-plus years I've been doing this. We maybe sold the 63 for the same price as a 20. Every once in a while, we'll sell like a Mint State 61. And I think we just did it like last week. We sold Mint State 61s, and I think they were $5 or $10 less. That's it. That's the cheapest ever. But now we're talking about Mint State 63s. And they're not $5 less. They're not $10 less. $20 cheaper. And again, the only thing I can think of, it's not me. I want to take credit. They put out an all-points bulletin to every major gold dealer in the country. Said, this is it. This is the big special of the day. I know some of you are thinking, but I missed the move. Right? Like you said, gold gone from $1,180 to $1,320, $1,325. I missed it. No, you didn't. Listen, we haven't even gotten started yet. Matter of fact, one of the guys I play here often, and I'm not talking about one of my, my favorite guys that tell you what's really happening in the world, but Jim Cramer, right? You've heard me play him a ton. And I even tell you, listen, I like him because he's passionate, like me. I'm passionate about what I do. And I am telling every one of you, buy that coin. If you have the wherewithal, buy it. This is one of those things, if you've been waiting to get in and you're looking at doing, 20, 30, 50,000, do it on this coin. It's that good of a deal. This is a coin that's over $1,500 for $14.75. You know, you think about it. We sell the ungradeds, right? And then you got what? You got the VFs and the XFs. You got the AUs. Now you got the BUs. Remember the BUs, right? These are coins that should be slabbed, but we're not slabbing them. And then you got the Mint State 60s, 61s, 62s. This is Mint State 63s. 8 grades above. Going to be great coins. No question as to what you're going to be holding for $20 less than I can sell you any other 20. Incredible. It's just incredible. 800-951-0592. Jim Cramer last night, after the Federal Reserve said what they said. Wait till I haven't even gotten to that part. Now calling for $1,500 gold. And I can understand why. What they did. I'm going to tell you right now, and you're hearing it everywhere. Right? The Federal Reserve now has essentially become the right-hand man of the billionaire. And I'm also going to, by the way, I'm going to update you on those great 401ks. I've been telling you about that. Wait till I'm going to get to that today as well. Call the number. Don't wait. Buy these coins. I'm telling you right now. You know, when you sit there and you think about a coin that normally is $100 to $200 above what a regular 20 is, and you're buying it for $20 less, it's the best deal they've ever offered on this coin ever. Well, in the 20-some plus odd years that Doug Balico has worked there. By the way, the guy's like the biggest cheese in the company, at least when it comes to precious metals. But yesterday, after the market closed, now let me tell you this, so just so you're clear. So I'm telling you, right, hey, gold's up, $13, $14, $15. Kitco will tell you gold's up $4, $5, $6. So gold closes when the Federal Reserve makes their announcements. So yesterday was a Fed meeting. Remember now, every meeting we now get a press conference. And I'm telling you right now, what a conference it was. It was the greatest conference ever given by the head of the central bank ever. Listen, I've been listening to these things for 15 years. It was awesome. Because it was so full of everything that is wrong with the central bank, but it was also full of huge warnings, big-time warnings. So let's just get to it, shall we? No rate hike, obviously, right? No one was expecting one. Everything's on pause, right? So all the rate hikes are now on pause. Now, they did use the word data dependent, but he let people know we're not doing anything for a while. But it was more that would have been good enough. But then they went and said the balance sheet runoff. Get ready for that to end. Now, he didn't say when. But he said it's not going to run to completion. And we're going to give much greater detail as things unfold as to when we are going to stop with the balance sheet runoff. Now remember, the balance sheet runoff, what a great Ponzi scheme. They created $4 trillion in fake money. Because you all need to understand this. The Federal Reserve doesn't create wealth. The Federal Reserve is a wealth stealer. They steal the wealth from one person to give it to somebody else. Who they give it to is where I have the problem. Because they give it to the billionaires and their banker buddies. Right? Because who benefited from them creating that $4 trillion? We didn't. Listen, did the average wage in America, did it go up? Ask yourself, pull your head out of your backside for 1 minute and look at the facts. 50% of the people in this country make less than $30,000. That was just the same stinking number as it was when they created that $4 trillion out of thin air. That money didn't exist. And then what did they do? They said, we're going to create fake money, and then we're going to buy real things. Right? And, of course, by real things, they were buying debt. Who were they buying the debt from? They were buying the debt from their banker buddies and their billionaire buddies. Let me ask you, did anybody in America get to stay in their house because the Federal Reserve bought all of this fake stuff, created the fake money, and bought all of that real debt from their banker buddies? The answer is no. I don't know how many people you know. Close personal friends of mine. It was amazing. I can rattle off right now half a dozen people, and I'm talking, these are guys that are, if I'll liken it this way. If somebody in their family passed away, would I go to their funeral? And every one of these, I'd be going to them. So they're kind of important people. I'd probably get to a dozen people. All of them lost their house. Every one of them. Whatever that day, don't worry, the Federal Reserve bought it. Who did it help? Their banker buddies. Didn't help you. Listen, half the country still makes less than $30,000. 70% of the country makes less than $50,000. But that wasn't, you know what? They weren't done. No. This was the greatest press conference ever. There's a reason why Jim Cramer all of a sudden said $1,500 gold. I wish it would stop there. I actually do. I wish it would stop there. It's not. I already told you where we're going. I told you it yesterday, and Jay Powell reaffirmed it for me today. Well, yesterday afternoon. So he said, no rate hikes. Don't expect one for a while. Get ready for the balance sheet runoff to stop. Nowhere close to the goal. Then he said, we are going to continue to pay all the banks, and he made a big deal about this one, for parking money at the central bank. Remember, what was it? Last week I told you the banks got $38 billion from the Federal Reserve by quote-unquote parking money at the central bank. And remember, that was money that should have been turned over to the Treasury. Right? That's taxpayer money. This is the, quote, money that they earned when they created the fake money out of thin air to buy real things. Did that benefit you? Did it? I'm asking, did it? Did your bank give you a one-time, hey, here's a one-time $50 because the Federal Reserve gave us $3 billion for doing nothing? Nope. You know what they did? Hey, thanks. We're going to buy back our own stock, and then we're going to issue ourselves some more stock and give myself a raise. Thank you very much. Remember, they're stealing wealth from somebody because they don't create it. They redistribute. So after he made that point, okay, no rate hike. Get ready for us to stop selling off these bonds. Don't worry, banks, we're still going to take care of you. Then the best part of the press conference started. And he started talking about he wanted to be clear about all the tools in the toolkit. I mean, he's a genuine Bob the Builder. Right? I mean, he could have been, listen, all he needed to do, James, he should have came out dressed up like the construction worker from the Village People. Right? He goes, YMCA. Oh, yeah, I got all the tools. He wanted everyone to know what it was that him and his banker buddies were talking about in private. I'm going to tell you what it was next. Listen, you better jump on those 63 Saints while they're still here. 14 and a quarter, 800-951-0592.
This is the Phyllis Schlafly Report, a daily look at the significant issues of our time from an experienced conservative perspective. Sponsored by Phyllis Schlafly Eagles, this broadcast continues the legacy of Phyllis Schlafly and stands against forces that mock traditional values, slander America, and redefine the family. Now, the president of Phyllis Schlafly Eagles, Ed Martin.
While I'm not a huge fan of so-called social justice, I am a big fan of cosmic justice when it comes to liberal circular reasoning. All but the youngest Americans will remember a generation ago when feminists were spreading the lie that men and women were completely interchangeable. They argued that aside from the basic differences of anatomy, men and women are the same in every way. You may recall seeing news stories of parents choosing to raise their children so boys played with dolls and the girls played with toy trucks and guns. These feminist ideologues are only just now realizing that in a world where the words man and woman are fluid, nobody needs someone to stand up for the rights of women. They are having obvious difficulty keeping up with the ever-changing Democrat Party line, and the results are showing. That is what one unfortunate feminist author realized when she was banned from Twitter for simply posting the phrase, "men aren't women," to her feed. Although this fundamental truth may be easy for most people to grasp, the same cannot be said for the political correctness police at Twitter. According to them, saying men aren't women is a form of hate speech against transgender people. A simple understanding of biology would lead a rational person to understand that men cannot be women simply by declaring themselves to be so, but far be it for the left to rely on something like science to make their positions. The banning of this feminist from Twitter marks the closing chapter in the story of American feminism. Now that Democrats have accepted gender fluidity, they put themselves at odds with the feminist victim mentality. Feminists who have a legitimate and rational contention with transgenderism risk making a pariah of themselves if they do not conform their positions to the party line. Meanwhile, the conservative position continues to be the same as it has been for millennia. Men aren't women. Women aren't men. The differences between the two are biological, immutable, and a gift from God, and they're a vital part of our family unit.
This has been the Phyllis Schlafly Report from Phyllis Schlafly Eagles. You've seen the desperation of women's marches, the disgrace of Planned Parenthood, the rise of savvy young conservative women. Radical feminism is heading down a dead-end road. Voice your opinion on what's really important to women at phyllisschlafly.com. That's phyllisschlafly.com. Thanks for listening and join us again for the Phyllis Schlafly Report.
800-951-0592. And I'll just tell you. And I know when you can't do it, you can't do it. $1,425 is a lot of money. For most of us, that's a lot of money. But if you have the means, you don't let this one get by you. These things are spectacular. The value is really what matters most. Remember, what do we tell you all the time? Buy as much gold as you can, as close to spot as possible, and be able to stay as private as possible. Now you throw in the fact that I'm telling you can do it with a Mint State 63. Are you nuts? This is one of those things, and if you've been out there waiting, this is one of those back up the bus. Probably never, ever see something like this again in our lifetime. And now you start thinking about what Jay Powell said. So that would have been plenty, right? No rate hikes. We're taking a break. Get ready. We're going to stop selling off the balance sheet. That would have been, everyone would have loved it. But it got better. Or worse. How bad is it? And again, and I know it's hard because you look at Wall Street. Oh, yeah, 25,000. Okay, see, it's okay. No, come on. You know it's not. These earnings reports, and you should see the things they're trying to tell you how great they're. They're not great. I'm looking at them. I tell you, if they were, Apple's earnings were not great. Boeing was good. I told you, Boeing had a good number. GE's earnings today, trust me, garbage. Like, GE's having one of the best days ever. Of course, you got to remember, GE's been getting hammered. But trust me, those earnings were garbage. And you're kidding yourself if you think somehow you're going to escape this. Because here's what he said next. Right? So he's got his YMCA outfit. He's got his Village People, Bob the Builder outfit on now. And he said, hey, listen, I'm not just talking about stopping. If need be, we're ready to launch QE4. Now, he didn't say, he said it, but that's what he said. Hey, the tools are there. We're ready to go again. Remember what I told you yesterday. I didn't know this. Right? It's not like I got a seat at the private meeting. But one of the things that made it interesting is everybody started calling them out in December's meeting for lying. Because they came out, they raised rates, they talked real tough, and then it started backing off, and then when they released the minutes 2 weeks later, now we know why they do that act. Everyone's like, oh, they lied. That's not what they said. Because he had a press conference telling us how great everything was. And now the meeting notes come out because Wall Street was crashing. Oh, no, we're concerned. So he said, I want to make it very clear what all the members were talking about. They weren't, not only were they talking about stopping the sell-off and no more rate hikes, they were talking about when are we going to need to start adding again. Listen, it's coming. The date, I know you don't want to hear me, okay? I get it. Right? And we're American. We want to be optimistic and all this stuff. It's not doom and gloom. Trust me, this isn't doom and gloom. It's just reality. Italy's back in recession. Japan, right? It's all coming. See jobless claims today? 255,000, the biggest number in like 2 years. Of course, seasonal stuff. And just remember, government workers don't get to file unemployment. They don't track it that way, just so you know. So it wasn't shutdown related. But they said it was seasonal stuff. There you go again. Again, let's just give real numbers. It's so much easier when you tell the truth. But the central bank has shifted course. They're no longer playing offense. They essentially said, hey, we're taking our offense off the field, right? The rate hike offense, that's gone. The balance sheet shell off, get ready. He's coming off. Not off yet, but he's on his way off. We're walking him off the field. But we're also now getting ready to walk the defense back out. We're going to use all those tools, right? Not just rate hikes. He wanted to make a big deal, too, that rate hikes was still the primary tool, but did not mean that that would necessarily be the primary tool in the future, which in my eyes means, okay, interest rates zero, QE whatever, right, is back. What other big tool are they talking about? That's what I want to know. He didn't give a hint. He just said for now, primary tool, rate hikes or rate cuts. The interest rate, the Fed's funds rate is the primary tool, followed by the balance sheet. For now, we're working on other tools. This is what he said they were actually talking about in the meeting. And you know what? I believe that. It's exactly what I believe. And you know what else is funny? Something happened in 2018 that has not happened since we closed the gold window in 1971. I'm going to tell you what it is. I'm going to break down all of the demand in gold in the world. We're going to talk about Economics 101. And how many years have I been telling you, be your own central bank? I'm going to remind you why we closed the gold window and why I think it's getting ready to close in on the dollar this time around when we get back. The special of the day. And I'm going to just hammer it home to you. I got to keep checking. So all throughout the show, I keep checking because as soon as it goes out, it's out. MS 63 Saints. This is the deal of a lifetime on a graded coin. And you know the 63, 60, 61, 62, but 63s, I mean, you're starting to get up the scale. $1,425. I mean, you got gold sitting here at $1,322. 800-951-0592. What happened in 2018 that hasn't happened since we closed the gold window? That's next. Got two lines open. How? That's ridiculous. That's how good of a price this is. $14.25, Mint State 63 Saints. Stay on hold. We will get to you in the order that you called. This is one of those, and I know, listen, quit being sniveling little babies. Oh, but double, I tried to get money, but my financial planner yelled at me. He doesn't want me to take my money out. He doesn't want me to get protected. He's trying to say that I'm dumb. You're not dumb. Sack up. Take charge of your money. This is your wealth. It's not theirs. Listen, these guys are upset you're taking your money from them because they want the commission. 800-951-0592. Still two lines open. Arlene just got off one. One got it in. Get it done. Get it done. You think that the world's going to sit there and watch the United States go in debt into oblivion, watch the central bankers kowtow to the billionaires and not do something about it? Global gold demand, contrary to the bull crap they try to tell you on TV, rose another 4% in 2018. Oh, I thought people weren't buying gold. Yeah, they are. Fueled by the greatest amount of central bank buying since Richard Nixon closed the gold window in 1971. This is how bad it's gotten. And I can't even keep up on how many of them are doing it now. Remember why we closed the gold window. See, people don't know. They don't like to tell you history. They like to lie about what the history was. But when World War II ended, And Bretton Woods came into existence. And, of course, remember, they had confiscated the gold from us in 1933. The United States had 20,000 metric tons of gold. After World War II ended, and really it took about 10 years after World War II ended, all of these countries started doing what they're doing today. They said, of course, back then, they were like, we got all these $20 gold pieces. You know, when you took it from your citizenry, we didn't give it back to you. But, you know, you're going to give me $35 for something that used to be $20. So they gave a bunch of it back. In the 50s, they started doing something that we didn't plan on. I'm not going to roll over that bond there. You know what? Here's $35. I want that $20 gold piece back. And it started out a little bit. Just a little. And then the late 50s, it got a little more. And then the early 60s, it got even more. By the late 60s, central banks were redeeming gold so fast, they're like, man, we're going to be out of gold soon. We're not going to make it through the 70s, Mr. President. We are down to 8 tons. Now think about, fast forward to today. In the 90s and the early 2000s, central banks sold gold. 500 metric tons a year they sold. And then they stopped. Right? Remember, think back, right? This was like the 30s. After they confiscated gold from the citizenry, they changed the price of a $20 gold piece to $35. And the foreign governments were like, hey, great, here. I got a bunch of it. Give me $35 worth of stuff instead of $20. I'll take it. Then World War II, and then after World War II, they're like, I'll take some of that gold back. Started out slow at first, right? All of a sudden, 06, 07, 08, we started hearing stories. India bought 200 metric tons from the IMF, and, of course, Russia started buying, and this country, China started buying. And it keeps picking up steam. But from 2011 to 2015, gold went from 1,900 to 1,000. It must have slowed down then. Keeps getting bigger. This year, it hit a record since they closed the gold window. Central banks bought 651.5 metric tons of gold. Think about that. We only have 8,000 metric tons. They almost bought 10% of all of our gold holdings in a single year. By the way, gold demand, 4,345 metric tons. Incredible. The central bank tally, by the way, the second highest level in record. So when you think about the late 60s, right, they were starting to buy 300, 400, 500. Right before they closed the gold window, 1970, right, they were buying close to 1,000 metric tons. Now we sit here today that it's on the rise again. 651 metric tons, according to the World Gold Council. Net purchases the most since the U.S. ended the convertibility in the dollar to the central banks. A larger number of central banks also were purchasing the metal. Right? The World Gold Council saying, hey, it wasn't like one or two countries. A flood of countries buying metal. Of course, Russia did lead the way with 200 metric tons. So Russia didn't even buy a third of it. Patriot Radio News Hour. 800-951-0592. Listen, I told you, I have no control over this special at all. Everybody that's been offered this deal, we have to pay for it before the end of the business day today. There was 150 of them available when the show was, 45 minutes before I got on the air. Just got my first update. I've been waiting for it. 65 of them are now left. So over half of these things are already gone. And it's only been like an hour and, I don't do math that good, an hour and 35 minutes since I got it. So these are things that don't come around. I've never seen it. And I've been doing this a while. Eric's never seen it. He did it longer than I. Mint State 63 $20 Saints. 14 and a quarter. That's $20 less than our cheapest ungraded St. Gaudens. $20 less. That's value. That's why you buy from us. You know what these other guys will do? They'll buy them and they'll put them in their inventory, right? And they're going to go out and they're going to have their guys call you because you made a mistake and called the idiots on the TV or the guys selling the free reports. And they're going to pitch you these things, $1,600, $1,700, $1,800. Remember, I ran into one of those TV guys at Patriot Jackson, remember? I sold the coin they were trying to sell to me for $500 less. This is one of those. MS63 Saints, PCGS, NGC, 1425. And listen, I've been hearing now from a lot of you talking about how when you tried to get your money from your financial planners or your 401ks and they were giving you crap, trying to make you feel like you're dumb. One guy said the guy practically was begging me not to do it. Listen, you got to be your own central bank. Why would you do business with anybody that thinks you're unintelligent? That's what I want to know. Obviously, you got some intelligence if you got enough money and the guy's begging you not to take it out. And I'm not telling you to take it all out. I've never said that. But you better get some gold. Because let me tell you right now, these central banks aren't doing that just because. 401ks, I've been on it now. I've been warning you. Greatest ripoff ever. And I'll still tell you, still got to do it. Fidelity now says we lost a lot of millionaires. 401k millionaires had a tough year in 2018. The average balance, and I wish they would have done the median, but I know why they didn't. So the average balance, remember that commercial? I keep making fun of it. It has people walking around like the smallest numbers, like $800,000, $700,000. They got people with $1 million, $2 million. No one's got that kind of money. The average 401k balance now dropped back below $100,000. $95,000, $95,600 was the average 401k balance according to Fidelity. The median number, my guess is the median number is probably closer to 40,000, but 800-951-0592. Listen, we'll sell these 63s until there aren't any more. Call us. Get it done.